So, in today's live stream, I wanted to talk about how both whoremongering and adultery is so popular nowadays to the point where this is some where so many people why so many people are becoming infected with STDs, and some people may also call them STIs, due to how cheating in relationships, once again, both whoremongering, and for some of you who may want me to elaborate more, and in a nutshell, it's just basically being in a relationship out of wedlock, and you could be a person who may have been with the same person in a relationship with the same person. You may just be in a casual relationship with them, whether you may be either that person's boyfriend or girlfriend, and you may have been in a relationship for, I would say, 6 months, minimum of 6 months, but you may be seeing somebody else on the side, in some cases multiple people, or they may be seeing someone else on the side, if they aren't currently, or they may have done it before in the past, which is a perfect example of whoremongering. Now, for some of you who may not be familiar with adultery, let's say, for instance, you may be a person who may be legally married to someone else, and either you may have cheated on that person before while being legally married to them, or vice versa, they may have cheated on you. That's a perfect example of adultery, which is a sin according to the Bible, even whoremongering, because it talks about the Bible how even whoremongers, when they die, they won't get to inherit the kingdom of God. In other words, they will be sent straight to hell. However, so many people are doing it, so many people are sleeping around to the point where it's pretty much a casual thing, both whoremongering and adultery, which is one of the main reasons, once again, that so many people are being infected with STDs and STIs. For some of you who may like to refer to them as also STIs, due to whore culture, I would like to say, due to random hookup culture as well. And to add insult to injury, where all these random hookup dating apps, that's another thing, another example of how casual hookups and flings have become so popular nowadays. On behalf of even married people, to be honest, you have pretty much just as many married people who cheat just as much as single people. And it's also a perfect example of how the devil is running rapid, more and more rapid, similar to how I made a live stream a good while back about how I was giving some examples, some other examples of how, or various examples of how busy the devil is nowadays, how rapid he is running in this world. And it's just a perfect example of how we're becoming more and more closer to the last days, due to how so many people are whoremongering, so many people are fornicating. Because think about how it's very hard to find a virgin nowadays. And for instance, if you may be a man who has never been in a relationship at all, a man who may be over the age of 25 years old, who may be looking for you, a woman who will be faithful to you, a woman who has never ever been touched before, if you know what I mean. A woman who is a straight up pure virgin. How hard it would be to find a virgin nowadays, much less a woman with children. Because think about how cheating and whoremongering is so popular in these days and times, to the extent that more and more women are trying to have more kids by more men, just to be able to compete when men having more kids by multiple women. They don't look at it as a double standard nowadays, because if they did more women, more of them would respect themselves, more of them would believe in having husbands first before they had sex, believe in also having husbands first and foremost, instead of having kids outside of wedlock. Things are just so screwed up in these days and age to the point where in this day, excuse me, in age to the point where more and more women feel like if us men had the freedom to whore around, then so should they be able to. If so many of us men have the freedom to be sexually liberated, whereas we could be able to have the option, us as men, once again, this is part of the double standard, to have sex with multiple women without being judged. Instead, we usually receive a pat on the back, so to speak, us men, when we do it. Women, then so do women feel like they should be able to receive, so to speak, pat on the back for having sex with multiple men. This is also one of the main reasons why our society is so screwed up to the point where you have hardly no women who believe in saving themselves for marriage no more. Even when you go, and this is kind of part of the topic as well, at the same time, kind of not, but this is one of the main reasons why you see when you go out in public, fellas, you see more women dressing more and more provocative and inappropriate, as opposed to how the Bible states that women are supposed to dress more appropriate, more modest, due to how women have completely lost most women respect for themselves. The majority of women just look at it nowadays as a badge of honor and being whores, being promiscuous. And this is one of the main reasons why so many STDs/STIs have passed or are so prevalent in places like Houston, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia, to name a few places. They say, judging from statistics, those are some of the main two cities in the whole entire U.S. that have the most cases of STDs/STIs, due to how some of everybody is sleeping with some of everybody. As a matter of fact, how many of you may be on a job where you know of it being so common for most of your coworkers to be sleeping with another coworker, or have slept with more than one coworker before? Or you may have known of several bosses, whether it may be either several managers or supervisors on your jobs, who may have been with either this employee or that employee, which is, especially when you work in places by the likes of a warehouse or a hospital, places where women seem to have the most highest of body counts, places where women seem to cheat more than anywhere else in any other workplaces. And think about how, you don't believe me, think about how there are so many women when you work at places like warehouses, manufacturing plants, where the majority, you see more women going into work at those places dressing as skimpy, as inappropriate as possible. And those same women in most cases are known to have been with several guys on that same job at that same workplace. The same with hospital. Well, the same at hospitals, because think about how many nurses, for some of you who may know, work at hospitals, and when how those are some of the places, some of the main places where you are exposed to a lot of gossipy co-workers, where you may have known about, or currently know about, some nurses who have been with multiple doctors, female nurses that is. I ain't talking about no down low male nurses, because you know, in some cases, those male nurses you see are mostly on the DL due to the nursing field being female dominated. But think about how you may know of quite a bit of female nurses that may have been with X amount of doctors, may have even been with some of the custodians in the hospital. May have been with some of the dietary workers in the hospital. I mean, it's just sad, and I can't blame, to be honest, I can't blame some of you people who may not want to ever be in a long-term relationship, due to how the majority of people in relationships, whether you may be either married or just currently dating someone who you may just be shacking up with. I can't blame some of you people for never ever wanting to be in a long-term relationship, due to how whoremongering, once again, and I will not quit stressing this, both whoremongering and adultery has become more prevalent than any other time in society, and how the majority of people who do have a side piece or a side partner look at that as a badge of honor, especially us men. Anyways, I'm going to end up let me, because I got distracted by this pop up, this phone wallpaper pop up, and my apologies. Anyways, I'm going to end this here live stream because I already have said enough. And like always, make sure you like this video. Make sure you also share this video. Make sure you also feel free to comment, because I do see where one person joined the live stream only to exit as soon as they join it. And last but not least, subscribe to the channel. And for some of you who may have been tuning into my most recent video about the woman who gave a perfect example of why so many women, I believe it's about why so many men are not approaching women or something like that. It's one of my last pre-recorded videos, and it's at over 2,000 views and counting. I really do appreciate all of your support. I really do appreciate from a lot of you tuning into the video, to a lot of you liking the video, a lot of you sharing it, because judging from my understanding, it has like over 50 likes and counting. I, once again, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate your support. Even for you, some of you who recently took the time out to subscribe to my channel, because I'm at over 1,540 something subscribers. I thank you as well for all your support. Anyways, you guys have a good one.